Good evening, I'm Ben Mankiewicz. You're watching TCM, where we're in the middle of a lineup of movies featuring nuns as leading characters. Up next, Audrey Hepburn delivers one of her finest performances in director Fred Zinnemann's 1959 drama The Nun Story. Script comes from the novel of the same name by Catherine Holm, published in 1956. When Zinnemann initially expressed interest in turning the book into a movie, Hollywood took a vow of silence. No studio thought audiences were interested in a movie about a nun. That sentiment changed when the script found its way to Audrey Hepburn. She read it and immediately made it clear she wanted the role. Hepburn connected with the part because she and the nun shared some history. Both were born in Belgium. Both had their worldviews deeply influenced by the Second World War. Hepburn, the daughter of a Dutch mother and British father, spent World War II in occupied Holland. She said if her family had known the Nazi occupation would last 5 years, they probably would have taken their own lives. But they carried on, she said, with the hope that the war would end in a week, a month, or a year. With Audrey Hepburn attached, studio hesitation vanished, and suddenly everybody wanted a piece of this action, igniting a bidding war for a project that just weeks earlier nobody wanted to touch. Warner Brothers ultimately landed the picture, with Hepburn turning in one of her finest performances. Her nomination for Best Actress is one of the 8 earned by the movie, including Best Picture. From Warner Brothers in 1959, also with Peter Finch, Edith Evans, and Dean Jagger, The Nun Story. The Nun Story is the adaptation of a Catherine Holm novel based on the life of a real ex-nun, Marie-Louise Habets. Wow, Habets. Her name is spelled Habets, but, still. Holm served as the director of a United Nations Relief and Rehabilitation Administration camp in Germany after World War II, and she met Habets while working there. Meanwhile, in post-war Holland, teenage Audrey Hepburn, who grew up to portray Marie-Louise Habets in The Nun Story, was receiving services from the same group, essentially a forerunner to UNICEF. Nearly 30 years later, in 1988, Audrey Hepburn became a UNICEF International Goodwill Ambassador, traveling the world till her death in 1993. President George H.W. Bush presented Hepburn with the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 1992. The next year, she posthumously received the Jean Hersholt Humanitarian Award from the Motion Picture Academy. Coming up, a grizzled sergeant in the Korean War leads an apparent suicide mission behind enemy lines, only to discover an injured nun and several young girls in need of rescue. From 1962, The Nun and the Sergeant is next on Turner Classic Movies.
Next on TCM, The Nun and the Sergeant, then The Singing Nun, and later, Cry of the Hunted. TCM is hot on your trail tonight.